I've put this video together to help you use the library filter search bar to search through your photos and find the ones you want. And this works in Lightroom Classic. If you look at my screen, you'll notice over here, I've got my mouse indicating that I'm in the Develop module. The library filter bar is only going to work or be available in the library. So I'll click on Library. And the library filter bar ought to be up here, but it's not. If you don't see it, press the backspace key. It toggles the filter bar on and off. And now you can see it. Put this in grid view and the filter bar is sitting up here. Notice the library filter has text, attribute, and metadata filtering. We'll talk a little bit about all three of those. The other thing you want to take a look at before you start filtering, what are you going to filter? Now, I have Tom's Photos All, my 30,045 photos that I have in Lightroom Classic. When I filter now, they're all available. Each time I filter, it's going to go through all 30,000 pictures and find the ones that qualify to be displayed. I certainly could go down here and choose a year, or I could even choose a date and filter through these pictures. But 95% of the time, the set of pictures that I'm going to look at are my Photos All. So why don't I do that? I'm going to go up here. I said we have text, attribute, and metadata. I'm going to click on text. And I'm going to go with keywords. Now, keywords are entered over here under keywording. I'm going to click on this picture. There aren't any keywords in there. I can type Mike Ames, and I put a comma after his name. And then Leah Hurley Ames is his wife. They're both in the picture. So I chose to enter those keywords. Well, anyway, that's just an example. You don't do this usually when you're using the filter bar. Usually inputting the keywords in a whole different phase of Lightroom work. But I'm going to search, and the word I'm going to search on is swan, because I'm looking for pictures of trumpeter swans. And I typed swan, and notice I have Dean Swanson in with the swans that fly and swim. Here's Dean Swanson again. Now I could change it to contains all, but that doesn't change anything. Contain words. So now it's just looking for images that have the word swan in them. And notice trumpeter swan. It has swan as its own word. And here I can see my pictures of trumpeter swans. So that's a text search. An attribute search. What are we searching on? We're searching on these attributes. Flag status, the export status. Have we ever exported the image? Have we ever edited the photos? Or are they unedited? The star rating that you've assigned, the color label, and then I'm going to skip over these two, but over here we're talking about original photos, virtual copies, and videos. So I'm going to take Swan out of here by clicking on the X, and I'm going to choose none here for the filter. And now I've got all the pictures back, I believe. I can check that out by going down here. I'll click on the little arrow down here at the bottom because I want to see the film strip. And the toolbar is down here also. See the toolbar here? Or I should say here. T for toolbar. If you don't see it, press T. But I've got 29,823 of my 30,045 photos. And I'm not sure why there's about 1,000 photos that aren't showing up here. But anyway, I'll consider that to be close enough to all of them. But when I do a search, for example, let's say I go back and search on all of the 5-star photos. Rating is equal to 5 stars. I've only got, 10 pictures that I've given 5 stars to. They probably aren't even 5-star photos. But anyway, I could choose 1 star. And I've got it set so the rating is equal to. I could say rating is greater than or equal to. Rating is less than or equal to. So I'm going to choose none here so I get everything back. And now I'm going to go to the attribute. Yeah, I'm going to take off this star rating. And I'm going to go with all the images that have been labeled red. And notice, there they are. Or I could say all the ones that are labeled green and red. All the ones that are labeled green or red and 2 stars. Don't have any. How about 1 star? Yeah, I've got some pictures that, notice, they're red and they have 1 star. I don't have any that are green and 1 star. So you can do these things in combination. Take that rating off. And I'm going to take the colors off. In terms of selection, back to where I was before. Now, I forgot to mention over here for attributes, because we talked about the star ratings, talked about the color labels, that I can also look at the flag status. Here are the pictures that have the pick flag. Here are the pictures that don't have any flags. Here are the pictures for any export status. They've been exported or they haven't, they're all here. But now this one, I believe, these are the pictures that have been exported. Exported to print or exported to JPEG or TIFF. So sometimes you're going to be in a folder and you've got 15 photos and you can't remember which ones you've exported and turned into JPEGs. Well, that's when you would come and click this. Once again, I'm going to take this off. Now here's one that I've used several times in terms of attribute, and that is to go down here. So this is the masters. Click on that. These are all the masters. In my case, they're 99% raw files, 1% JPEGs. These are the virtual copies over here. Take this off, just go with virtual copies. And you can see by this little flap in the lower left-hand corner, these are virtual copies. I'll take that off. And these are the videos I have. I click on this and you can see MP4. These are all videos that I have in Lightroom Classic. You know, if you're losing enough space on your hard drive, it might be a good idea to click on this, see all the videos that you have, and delete videos that aren't important to you. Looks like I made the same darn movie here when Olivia was born 3 times. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it's got the same name. So I think what I'm going to do here, I hope I'm doing the right thing, and I'm going to press the X key and then go Command or Control Delete. I'm going to delete these 2 movies. Okay, I saved a little bit of room. So now I'm going to click on None, and I've taken off those filters. Back to the almost 30,000 photos that I have in Lightroom. The metadata. Over here in the library view, if I click on metadata, you can see the things that the camera has assigned to the image. I'm going to get down here to one of my more current images where I have more metadata. I'll choose this one, taken in Brazil. And it's got the date, the file dimensions, the file size, and I have other pieces of metadata that I could click on that would show up here. But you know, I don't want this much larger than this, but these are the important pieces of information for me. And if I click on metadata, then I can go over here and search on the different metadata items. I'll give an example. Right now, I've chosen all dates. If I want to, I could go down here and say, gee, I just want to look at the pictures for 2025. It's going to find all the pictures that were captured in 2025. On all cameras, all lenses, and all shutter speeds. So I'll go back here and change it to all. And I've got a couple of cameras. And how about my iPhone 13 Pro here? I'll click on this. So these are all iPhone photos taken with my iPhone 13 Pro. I've got 1,219. And they're all right here. For some reason, if I wanted that, I've got it. Now, one thing that I find interesting is I'm going to choose all cameras. I sometimes want to see how frequently am I shooting with a particular lens. Gee, I bought the lens, but I'm not sure if I'm using it all that much. So if I wanted to check out my 85 millimeter lens, I know it's a Sony FE 85 millimeter f1.8. I'll click on this and I have 709 pictures that I've taken with that lens. And I can look at those pictures. It is one of my favorite lenses. It's a very good portrait lens. Took this one of my father-in-law before he passed away. And I could get down here to choose even the shutter speed. Or if I want to look at some other piece of metadata, I'm going to go back here and change this to all lenses. But if I said, yeah, I'm not so interested in searching on shutter speed, I want to see what else is here. I could go and take a look at a particular aperture. Gee, how many pictures did I shoot at 1.4, f1.4? Here they are. So I encourage you to go into Lightroom Classic, go into the library, click on your Photos All folder, and go through and bring up the library filter bar. Remember, to do that, you're going to use the backspace key if it's not there. If I want to assign attributes to the pictures, I'm going to use the toolbar, which is found right here. If you don't see that toolbar, tap T, because T toggles it on and off. This part down here is the film strip. Remember, the film strip disappears when I click on this little arrow down here. Now I bring it back. It's got this strip on it and then this picture strip. The toolbar sits right above this black strip here. So I'm going to press T. Up comes the toolbar. Now maybe I like this picture. I want to give it 3 stars. And this one over here of Olivia, I want to give it a pick flag. And the mallards, I'm going to put it in a collection. And I like to have my pictures that go in a collection labeled in red. So that's how you assign attributes. And you can take them off the same way. If I didn't want this one to be red any longer, I go back here and click on the red. Am I on this one? No, I just made that one red. Click on this, click on the red, it disappears. I'll put it back. So, I encourage you to take a little bit of time using the library filter bar to find your pictures, to filter through. We're going to look at the library filter bar next Thursday, the third Thursday of the month of May, when we get together again, hopefully, from 2 to 4 at 125 Live. And I hope to also have a couple more videos go out. So I encourage you, take a half an hour, watch the video, play around with your computer, have your questions ready to ask me. If you get stuck, call me. If I can't take the call, I'll just see that you're in the call log and try to call you back at another time. All right. Thank you.